It's amazing to think we're already in week 10 of the NFL season. Because at this point you start to feel comfortable. You're getting to almost a routine. You're like, I like this. I'm getting used to this. I meet the guys on Tuesday, then I meet them on Friday to build the show. It's like, well, we haven't hit yet. And then you realize, like, there is not that many weeks left of DFS, but I've really enjoyed this season. Like, some seasons I'll kind of hit that lull where it's like I get really excited. I'm at the peak, and then I'll almost need like a bye week, or just some weeks don't feel as exciting for me, and then it will ramp back up around Thanksgiving. This year I've been pretty excited, even though the wins haven't always been there. I really kind of went on that roller coaster ride this year where I've been really high, my profits have been high, and now I'm kind of in that dip mode. But I've really enjoyed like the theory and process. So we were speaking a bit before the show, and we'll get to it in just a second here. But we were talking about show pick. I really like this the sports book today this week. Rather, I'm just liking a lot of games. We did decide on the Panthers at 5.5 against the Saints. And you guys can tell me, but mainly for me, it's like the Panthers have an identity. I think that team fits with what they're trying to do. Like, sure, they're not overly exciting. They might not be a great team, but they want to run the ball. They got a really good run defense this year, and they're playing the Saints. I just think it all matches up pretty well. I think they can cover 5.5 pretty easily. A lot of people around the industry didn't seem to think so. To me, that I would take it personally.
Yeah, you never love a high spread on a divisional game, to be fair. Like, anything can happen in a division game usually.
Mm-hmm.
But they're just so much better than the Saints. They should be able to do it.
I think so. I mean, most people seem to be marketing them about the same.
Like, if Bryce Young is just okay Bryce Young this week, not bad Bryce Young, but okay Bryce Young will be good enough. Bad Bryce Young, yeah, we're in a little bit of an issue. But
and even if we were being critical, like we tucked in best ball shares of Young, we believe in the upside. So maybe we believe in the upside more than most people. But I don't believe that he is just some terrible quarterback. Like, I do think he's above that range. So if it was like 7.5, maybe we'd have a much different.
He's not a guy I'd extend if I was the Panthers. Like, right now, he hasn't done enough to extend him to a deal, but you want to. Like, there's stuff you see where you think of. Yeah, if you watch it, it's like there's stuff that he improves on. It's just really slow so far.
And maybe that is, and maybe it'll be 5 full years in before he has that.
Sam Darnold.
Normally, it's the sophomore, you have your sophomore slump and then your junior year jump. Maybe his junior year jump doesn't come till year 5.
Yeah, he might just be like Sam Darnold's level of.
It might be like what Drew Brees and Cam Newton said on their podcast. He might fully need 50 games.
Yeah, I like the
50 games. Like, that's 3 seasons. And he hasn't even, and he's missed half of 2, honestly.
Yeah.
So, he might need the full 5 years.
And people can go back and watch it on our Tuesday show. We did a recap of the trade, so you guys can see that there as well. But Shaheed is gone off that team, so the offensive firepower is gone from that team. So even if you didn't think that the Panthers would blow them out, they only got to cover 5.5. This game should at least be close, if nothing else. So
yeah, they'll win it. It's just whether they'll win it by a touchdown, essentially.
I think Rico's good enough to make sure that they can do that if New Orleans is as bad as we say.
Exactly, Gov. That was my response. Like, their run defense and running game has paired very well. I don't see any reason why.
I can't believe we were talking about this before the show started. Carolina's the other team with Cleveland and Houston that are kind of similar. They want to play a really good defense, and they want to run the ball. 2 of them may have found their quarterback. One of them never finds a quarterback. But that one that never finds a quarterback always has the best defense. It's just weird.
And sometimes you got to lean into your strengths, and that's what they're doing. We can get on to our other spread picks, though.
What numbers do we want to go with?
20.
Let me go number 9. I see Stafford's got that Rams team rolling.
Right, I'll go 81. It's 60. All right. So that gives me the first pick. Gov is second. Logan third. I kind of wanted the first pick this week because I just want to take the Browns. Speaking of the Browns, I think the Jets are just that awful. It's only a 1.5 point line. But Cleveland should be able to stop Justin Fields in whatever the hell else that offense has left. The defense shouldn't be able to stop Judkins. I like this pick.
So this is kind of like your Carolina version where you're like, the offense isn't great, but you just think the run offense is that great. And then
no Quentin Williams, no Sauce Gardner.
And the Jets defense has gotten so much worse.
Yeah, I don't know why this is still at 1.5. I thought it would be more at 3, maybe 2.5 at least.
You're not afraid of the Jets at home rallying around this trade in this tank?
I do think
an absolute garbage Cleveland Browns team.
I don't think there's any narrative to buy into there because I think they also think we are so ass.
Good, then you're gonna love the quarterback I want to put into our lineup.
I'll be honest. I still think the Jets have the most the talentedest player on the field that day.
No, Myles Garrett is.
No, it's Breece Hall. The Jets don't use him right, but it's Breece Hall.
No, it's Myles Garrett. It might, and then you got Denzel Ward. I could probably name 10 Browns that have more talent. That might be a stretch, but
I can
let him eat his words and close his mouth real quick before more shit comes out.
Oh.
All right. Okay. So my pick now. Fuck you. I wanted to take the Browns. I actually really like that pick. I'm not opposed to that pick. That pick looks pretty good to me. Now,
I also don't.
There was one you put out as the show pick that I knew we weren't going to get, and Donnie vetoed that. I'm tempted to take right now, just because I know Logan might.
No, because you've had a sucky season too, so you're not allowed to take it either.
What do you mean? Why?
We're not jinxing them. We're not on them.
You guys just jinxed my Panthers with the show pick. I should stab you in the fucking mouth. You should both be taking wooden stakes to the chest. Good God. But seriously, we've got some. This is like you guys were saying it before. I like this book. There's a lot of decent options. I think week 10, they've really started to pivot some things. But I also told you I had some weird vibes. I knew the Raiders were going to keep that game oddly close last night, and Denver was just going to look bad. Their defense might look okay, but everything else was going to look bad. And that sort of happened. Nothing looked good for Denver.
Denver reminds me a lot of last year's Chiefs. They're playing very similar.
They're I was going to say the same thing. They're going to be that 12-win team that's won almost every game by 1 score or less, and that's not going to look good for them when they hit the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I saw last night they had a 16% chance to get the number 1 seed in the AFC. There's just not much belief in them at all. It's an interesting season for them.
So on that note, I want the Dolphins.
James Cook might miss this game.
I don't even care if he plays. Buffalo in Miami. This is never an easy game for them. This is always it's almost always a 1-score game for them.
I thought it was
honestly, if you throw out the Chiefs game last week, Buffalo's looked kind of sloppy this year.
Yeah.
We think they fixed it after the bye going into the Chiefs game. But maybe they just really prepared for that one game.
I thought they had more surprising injuries on their defensive front this week, too. There was some pop-ups surprising on their injury report, I believe, today. I wasn't able to confirm the names because I was at work. But
now, I understand the fish are in full tank. They got rid of all their defense. This could be an onslaught. But I think everyone's thinking, how many games this week starting on Thursday night, are we thinking, oh, this defense is just awful, it's going to be an onslaught? Carolina's almost got a touchdown favorite. You've got the Denver versus the Raiders. You've got Buffalo versus Miami. Like, there's another one. Hold on. What was it? It was,
well, just think about last week in the DFS, like when people were picking their defenses, like we were so wrong about
the Lions and the Commanders, I think, could be a surprising cover. Honestly. Really, there's a lot that I think there's a lot of these like almost touchdown spreads that should be looked at. Even Atlanta Indy in Spain, it looks interesting at that point. But it's your 2 picks, Logan, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, I'm just gonna take. I'm gonna do it before Donnie does. I think anytime I don't think there's many weeks where I can get Drake May, who I think is the MVP candidate, at 2.5 against a bad Falcons team. Their defense is what
Tampa they're playing.
Oh, Tampa. I still think Tampa's bad too. Maybe that's why I confuse them, because I think one of them is like a little bit sexier than the other, but I think they're kind of the same team. As soon as you start believing in them, they let you down, and that's what the Falcons have done, and that's what Tampa's done. And then they got the injury excuse. But I just think the Patriots are like tenfold better than the Falcons. Maybe I'll eat my words. I guess I'll eat my crow or eat my Falcon in this way if that's the case. But I just think Drake May knows the opportunity he has in front of him, and I think he's going to capitalize on it. I think he is like a franchise quarterback, a kind of dynasty builder, and I think this could be a kind of coming out game.
Yeah, this game scares me just because I don't love having to travel to Tampa. Patriots usually play bad in those November, December Florida games. It's not a number I love. And I think if it was 3.5, I think I'd take it, but I don't know. I don't know if they can pull this one off. This is a tough game.
I think all the magic from Tampa is gone. They still don't have Bucky back. They still don't have Godwin back. Baker's back down to earth. He hasn't looked good in a while. I've said it for a while. He's Ryan Fitzpatrick with a fancier haircut. I'm over the Bucs.
Do we know if McMillan's playing this week?
No. I know it's pretty severe, though.
It's soon when he'll be coming back. I don't know if that affects this game, but it's something I want to pay attention to.
That's a good call. I'll check when we go to the lineup.
All right. What's your second pick, Logan?
Oh, my second pick. Yeah, of course. It is. I'm just going to take a really good defense against a backup quarterback, even though I like Mills. I want the Jags at -1.5. I think Trevor could play better. There's a lot of narrative, like, is he a good quarterback? Is he a bad one? Does he get too much hype? And I think the answer is yes on almost all fronts. He's still a good quarterback. Yes, he gets too much hype. Yes, people talk about him too much. However, what they don't talk about is that defense has been very elite this season. I like them against a backup quarterback, and I think Houston's pretty much done. I think this will basically be the end of their season, and the Jags will take care of business. I think they had their trap game with the Raiders last week. I think they'll learn from it. They'll actually take – Brian Thomas will take this week off, kind of like that James Cook. They won't push him. The Jags will come in focused and ready to handle business. They'll handle them. They'll move on. Easy game.
I could see it.
I don't know. That Houston defense is really tough. I would also take it just because it's basically a pick 'em, but I'd only take it at a pick 'em. I don't love it to be a high-scoring game. Trevor Lawrence has just not been great this year. He has occasional highlight plays and then a lot of inconsistency.
That's a perfect example of his season. Like, his highs are very high, but he's had a lot of low lights as well. But that's kind of what I'm saying, Donnie, is like people are focusing on the quarterback on that team, and really their defense has just been, I think, one of the best defenses in the league this year.
Yeah, I mean, Myers is a huge addition. I'll say that. Huge. That like Parker Washington drops are now negated by one of the most sure-handed guys in the league.
And to be fair, I thought that was a complaint that Trevor Lawrence could have argued against that team. It's like, yeah, I haven't looked great, but I've also put the ball in catchable spots, and my wide receivers still let me down. And he hasn't done it. I thought he had the right to justify it. Now he's getting Myers, who has some of the most sure hands in the league. I think it's a good marriage. Gubba, you just that focused, or did you freeze on us?
I'm trying to decide between two plays for my pick right now.
I'm at one that's so crazy, I don't think you'll take it.
Does that give him more confidence or less? We'll see.
I don't know. There's a couple I'm looking at that are a little off the wall, but...
Would you have taken the Patriots at all, Donnie? Because
no.
I wanted them. I thought I was going to have to race you to them. I just think that's a mispress.
Never thought about it. I know the Patriots very well. They don't play well in November. Goddamn. We'll probably lose to Miami if we have to travel there in December.
No. Drake May is a different animal now.
He has been amazing. He's amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Give me the Rams -4.5. Let me just take that one.
I like that. I like the Rams in DFS a lot this week. I haven't considered it in the sportsbook.
Stafford is a quarterback. He's the one non-black quarterback that I'm probably going to play a bunch of this week.
Now, are you the DFS player that has that narrative if you play Stafford that you have to double stack him? Because I've heard that a lot this season, and I don't necessarily agree with that. He's got two really good options, and that team is very concentrated. But I never believed that you had to double stack him. You definitely have to stack him given he's not a rushing quarterback. But the double stack it's not always a bad idea. I don't think you need to do it.
I mean, it all depends. Like, I usually I like the double stack if I think the offense is going off. And if I don't think the quarterback has any ability to give you rushing upside. Like, even like Rodgers back in the day wasn't going to give you 20, 30, 40 yards rushing, but 3 or 4 times a year he'd steal a red zone touchdown on a bootleg.
Yeah, I guess I didn't consider it.
You still had that. That's what really makes it to me. Like, if you have some ability for the quarterback to hit 25 without needing to throw 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Because he got 1 or more with his legs or got rushing upside, then I don't need the double stack. But if he had to throw 3 touchdowns, he's bringing at least 1 receiver, if not, like, the worst case scenario is he throws 3 touchdowns and 3 receivers have just sub points that you'd want. They're all at 16 to 18 and no one hit 20. As opposed to what normally would happen with like Stafford in that Puka will have 25 and Adams will have 20. Because Adams will have 2 touchdowns and not a lot of yardage, and Puka will have 7 for 130 and a touchdown.
I agree with that.
Let's get to the builder.
It's your last pick, right?
I need one.
Oh yeah, you're so right. I forgot to say it. I wrote it down. Steelers +3. I don't like that at Chargers offensive line. You can't just throw in a tackle randomly that you traded for. You got to get the language down. So I think that if the defense looks half as good as it did last week, the Steelers should be able to cover. I don't know if they'll win. The Chargers have not looked good without Joe Alt. I mean, that tackle
Sunday
has
Night
been
Football
so bad this year outside of, like, obvious injuries. That's why. But they have not looked good when their tackles are out.
No, they've been very boomer bust this year.
So I'll just trust Rodgers to cover for me once. The one time I need Aaron Rodgers to do something for me.
And I'm kind of the opposite. I just don't like to bet against Justin Herbert. He's usually so efficient, but you are right. That offensive line has been so bad this year that does get him off his spot, and it does make him uncomfortable, which makes me uncomfortable just to play that game, Donnie. So you got more guts than I do. But you mentioned him. You must be excited about building this lineup, Donnie, because you mentioned it. We'll get over to building.
I got some cheap plays for us.
Okay, well, I think Gov had a cheap quarterback. He wanted to go dumpster diving this week.
So I got first shot at quarterback.
Well, I was about to say Donnie will have first shot. If he doesn't take it, I got a couple of fucking ways to go. All right, so Logan, who's your top guy? Who's your favorite play?
This is tough because
stone cold lock of the year of the century.
I think there's some really good value that shouldn't be there and just gonna get tons of volume, like Rico Dowdle. And then there's also just the really underpriced Greg Dortch, who might get a lot of snaps at tight end and basically minimum price because
he is the only tight end listed as healthy. Hill is questionable, so Dolphins only have one tight end.
It looks like they're going to activate Hill, from what I heard.
Well, Hill's questionable. He's been hurt, so.
Yeah, but he's been practicing, so they think he's back, and that's why Connor got released. But they released Connor. Greg Dortch looked really good. He's obviously the receiving option. Oh, yeah, I'm just gonna plug in Greg Dortch. That's what I'm gonna do.
Dolchich.
Or Greg Dortch. Yeah, I always do that. I have.
Nope, wrong one.
See, I did.
Went to Dortch.
I did it again. I've always confused that. But I didn't have to worry about that because I thought he was out of the league, and then he came back. He did win me that showdown, though. Donnie
I will say this: if Barner is out, I would prefer Arroyo at the same price.
Yeah, I would too.
I agree.
I'll actually make that change. If that happens, I'll make that change.
If we hear Barner is out, I would also substitute that as a global swap sort of thing. Because they're the same $2,600 price.
And we talked about that last week, how we probably should have communicated that better in our group chat. So we are living proof that we will do that this week. We will have better communication.
What do you have?
Last week it was a little weird. Honestly, we shut off the show and then they rolled out Swift 5 minutes later.
And Stevenson.
Yeah, literally within 10 minutes, both of them.
Yep. All right, so now I'm up. Let's see. Yeah, you know what? You want to chime in that? I'm just going to jam in some what's going to be clear chalk for the week, but I think it's just the way to go. I'm going to play Rico.
All right.
Yeah, I almost did it just because I think it's a glaring value. It's going to be chalky, but we know eating chalk at running back is probably the safest of all the chalk to eat usually. My hands are cold today. I'll just make it easy on myself.
Okay. Well, Gov, I'll give you your opportunity. If you want to raise a cheap quarterback, I'll give it to you. Because I'm going to just jam. Give me Justin Jefferson. Give me Amon-Ra.
Okay, I at least like one of those two jams. I'm good with you on half of your jam. You can jam it halfway in my mind.
It's Justin Jefferson you like best, right, Gov?
God, no.
No?
No.
I like St. Brown.
Okay, I'll say this. I don't hate Minnesota versus Baltimore passing game. I don't hate that right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Amon-Ra over Jefferson this week.
See, we're kind of flipped. I like both game environments that Donnie chose. But I would favor Justin over St. Brown because I like Gibbs in that game. But we like the game environment, Donnie. You want us over there.
See, and I like both game environments, but I prefer Amon-Ra over Jefferson because I trust the quarterback and offense more.
I agree.
But I could also see why that you would be like, well, I would also trust Gibbs in that offense.
Especially since he is due for a bounce back. Projected at under 10%, and I just think this is a generational opportunity potentially with him, given that Taylor's off the slate and things like that.
Yeah,
it's back to me though, right?
Yes. Or no?
No, it's me now.
Yeah.
No,
I thought Gov already did his second.
Nope.
Go for it.
Left it for me.
You wanted it.
I did. I asked for this. Oh God, why did I ask for it? Oh, person. Put in Dylan Gabriel.
Oh God!
Guess who we're not playing?
Everything.
Guess who we're leveraging off of? Guess what we're doing?
I regret it all.
What I like about this play is he's a running quarterback at a very low price. He can run a bit. He should have played better at points, but that team is just bad.
Okay, Logan, you got 2 picks.
Yeah.
I already know what I would do with my next one. We'll see what you want to do.
That doesn't run is not a running QB anymore.
I'm saying he can run, Donnie. He's shown that upside in college. I watched him play at Oregon. He has the ability. Honestly, you know this team pretty well. I think your dad's a big Browns fan. There's rumors that Tillman's coming back. Are you confident in that?
Yes.
Okay.
They said he would come back after the bye. He's been practicing. He practiced all day Wednesday. He practiced all day fully Thursday. I'm no reason he won't be activated Saturday and play Sunday.
Okay. So I want to play Tillman.
Put Tillman in.
I think
saves me a pick I can make now. I don't have to do that with my next pick.
I think there's a better 3,500 receiver on the board, but I don't.
Valet? Because I'm also
playing. We can talk that. What's your $3,500 pivot?
I chose the pivot. It doesn't fit this lineup, but there's just I think 3,500 at a receiver you can one off. You do need somebody to go with Gabriel, so I get it. But I've been playing, I haven't played him yet, but I've been very much considering just going Matt Collins with Booty out again.
I could understand that.
Possible. And also Douglas is 4K as well. So if you do
that, but I'd rather go the cheaper option who gets the third down targets and the red zone snaps.
And just in case you haven't watched the show, because we're not super popular, you guys might have just stumbled across us. We draft this team and then we edit it after we draft. So we might make some changes.
I think Tillman fits his lineup perfectly. So yeah. I wouldn't change that. But
I actually think he's better than Jerry Jeudy, and that is actually why I have confidence in this pickup, is because I think maybe with Tillman back, maybe with David Njoku settled, he knows he's not being traded.
I've also heard they're switching the play calling duties to the offensive coordinator from the head coach.
Exactly. I was just going to mention that. It might not work, but they're actually giving the rookie some stability. They're saying, hey, you're our guy. Forget the Sanders stuff. You get your tight end, because he loves David Njoku. So, I actually like the stability and the upside. Okay. With all that being said, I forgot whose pick it was. So
that is, yeah. I was about to say one more to you, Logan, and back to me.
Oh, it is one more to me, right?
Yep. You can pick a running back, a flex, or a defense.
Okay, I'm just
honestly, if we do a cheap defense, you have enough money for whatever you want, basically.
Yeah.
Outside of McCaffrey and Puka, you can't do both.
I'm going to pay for a running back that I like a lot this week. That I know Gov likes the game script for. I want Kyron Williams. Last week they actually got him more involved in the receiving game, and if that happens, he's a smash. I think people will be afraid of it because of Blake Corum.
I thought Blake Corum got the receiving work. They just had
it was Blake.
25.
Kyron.
Sorry, that's what I meant to say. Blake Corum got the receiving work. But I'm not believing in it. I think Kyron is the number one guy. That's what I meant to say.
Well, yeah, of course, 25 carries, you're the number one guy.
Yeah.
All right. What's the cheapest defense? So I know exactly how much money I have to play. 2,600.
I would play the Jags defense. This is the cheapest I'd go.
What is the literal cheapest defense? Because I thought that last week, and then the literal cheapest defense was the best play. No one was going to play Tennessee against the Chargers. So what is the literal cheapest defense this week?
The Dolphins.
It's the Dolphins.
You don't have to plug it in. You just have to tell me it is $2,000. Okay, so there's a $2,000 defense on there. So that means 8,300 is technically available.
Go to flex so we can see it, Logan.
For the flex.
Oh, I thought you did. I didn't panel.
You're good. You're good. So 8,300 gets me what? Anyone except Njigba, Puka, and McCaffrey. Okay.
Probably the best.
That sucks because I really would have liked to have put Njigba in this lineup, but just jam in all of the high price, like in Jigba or Puka with Jefferson and it's St. Brown and all in the same lineup. Like that's just sort of ridiculous and ooh.
Yeah, I like Henry myself.
Now, let's see. I mean, if James Cook is in, he's probably a good chalky play.
He's trending to play this week. That's the last update we've had.
What's another good one? Let's see.
I'm going to check
this
on this.
This is rough because we are in a weird price range since we plugged in all of the good, expensive guys. If I can't plug in another one of them, I'm not as high on all these other like 7K pivot guys.
Well, like, just don't spend, and then we can move up somewhere else.
Okay, go down a little more. Let's see.
I don't know if he's here.
Okay, yeah, I'll look on my screen. Let's see. So if we're in the flex, go down a little bit. Let's see. Nico, not really. We already have Gabriel. Judkins hasn't been getting enough receiving work for me to really want to put him in our stack.
For an update, Christian Gonzalez is expected to play for the Patriots, so he'd be shadowing Ibuka. I think that kind of eliminates him from my player pool.
Honestly, doesn't affect me. But I wasn't really looking at Tampa Bay anyway in that game. So, let's see. Waddle, number 1 against the Bills. Am I afraid of Benford? Not really. See, this is a tough one.
Because if you don't spend, I could easily go up from Jefferson to Puka and not complain. So if you think of it like that.
Well, there's a lot of spots I would do that with, like Jefferson up to Puka. Like, I like getting Kyron, but I could do Kyron up to like A-Chain or Cook and then pay down somewhere.
We can definitely do that. If you
like, there's definitely pivots to go. It's just weird because, like,
I agree. We're in a bad price.
I've seen where the cheapness that I'm willing to eat is, but I'm honestly not so sure other than St. Brown on the studs that I want to play. That's been the real toughness for this week. Where do I want to spend my money?
I do think a Ram is a valuable play here, but I don't mind if we wanted to go with Adams or Puka or any, I just like that game environment.
I agree.
So if you want to make a switch, we can definitely do that.
What are the afternoon games again?
It is
so I know late hammer.
Lions game.
The Rams game and the Seattle game.
Seattle, yeah. I don't know what you guys talked about.
Let's take out Kyron if you don't mind, and let's put in Puka.
Okay.
So take Puka out as well, potentially.
And then put Puka in at flex.
Or do you want to keep Jefferson in right now?
I'm fine keeping Jefferson.
Okay. We can keep Jefferson. I definitely
I'd rather have Puka than Kyron. And then
agreed.
We still need a cheap defense, but we'd have about 5K for a running back. Who's the cheaper running back on the slate? Let's look.
There
isn't many good ones. Henderson's there.
Monty?
Travis Etienne, maybe we could afford.
Ken Walker.
Ken Walker, I will say, has gotten a lot more of the work recently. His splits with Charbonnet have basically disappeared. So if you believe in that,
like he's had a couple bad weeks, but you're right. Like 17 carries, 11 carries, 2 targets.
Yeah, he's taken the majority snaps back.
It's weird because he's also getting the receiving work too. Like the thing that you think Sharp is like known for, he's even getting some of that back as well. But also, are they just gonna flip and all of a sudden sunny side up egg, and now we get a lot of Charbonnet? I don't know.
I mean, the other one I would look at, which is disgusting, but
so
Patriots Jennings 4,900.
No. Well, specifically a running back, there is two spots that I checked off on my list because everything looks good.
Mm-hmm.
The EPA per rush and the success rate from the offense, the horrible stuff rate and rushing yards over expected given up by the defense. Those are just the stats I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams really jumped out. And I had to write the teams down because I don't know who the back is. So if you guys would be willing to figure that out, I'd take a shot on one of these two cheap teams.
Okay.
Giants or Washington. I don't know if Bill or Rodriguez or McNichols, who gets the carries there. I don't know which one of Tracy or Singletary really gets the carries. But if we knew one was going to get 15 plus,
they both scare me.
I don't think I could play them because I don't think any of them get 15 plus carries.
I would rather play Montgomery knowing he's the backup and be like, he'll get the touchdowns.
That's why he's the first one I said. Like in the 5K range right now, the only running back I'd consider would be Monty because if Detroit gets up, they'll split carries with Gibbs. They'll get Monty red zone.
Yeah, I'm kind of there as well.
So, I would be fine going Monty, and then we have plenty of money for a defense.
Would you? I don't know where your heart out with that, Gov, but I'm curious though. Would you go Adams and not Puka, and that would give us more money at running back, or is it?
I think Adams I don't think Adams is a consistent guy.
Yeah,
I think he's a great number 2 in this offense, but he's not the consistent guy week to week, and he just had a spike week.
I actually
could Adams still put up a solid score this week? Yeah. But do I think Adams puts up 25 plus again? No, I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I think even if they win, this is Adams putting up 16, 15, something along those lines. I don't think it's him putting up 23, 25.
Final word. Who's the guy, Gov?
I think it's Montgomery for me if you want my vote.
I think it's Monty. Just put in Monty. Because, I like the idea of playing Gibbs. And, I don't mind that little, mini game stack of Detroit, hoping they blow out Washington and put up points. Detroit has been shown to, step on the gas. Not so much this year outside of the Chicago game, but maybe they will against Washington.
Now, if I went with the Jaguars defense at 2,600, would we move up at Monty or no? Is that something you'd want to do with the 700?
There was no one to move up to Monty. There weren't really cheap running backs this week.
Because if we're not going to move up from there, I'm just going to put in the Browns defense.
Gabriel, Tillman, Browns D. Ooh, that's sneaky.
That's different.
Seen it work.
I think the cheapest player I could play would be Valet if you guys thought the $200 difference would do something at wide receiver. Which he might get to work at number 2. So he is the cheapest of the wide receivers I'm going with.
Yeah, no, the cheapest I'm going is that 3,500 range. I'm not going to play.
I'd be fine with Valet, but I don't need him in this lineup because I'd rather have Tillman, with Gabriel.
I'm just saying I don't know what 200 plus the difference in defense if it would get us off.
Technically speaking, you're going to have Cooks move.
I'd personally rather play the Texans defense than the Jags defense.
Yeah. See, I don't care either way on that regard.
I would just plug in the Texans defense at that point. It looks okay for me.
At 3,200, I just want to go with the Browns defense here and just play the best defense on the slate against a really bad offense. And that game turns into a weird script where they get picks but don't score maybe. And
Now, how does this lineup win? Because I do think it's contrarian with having the quarterback or bring back in Tillman. I think Tillman will be low owned, and then you bring back the Browns defense. I think it's safe. It can definitely get there because they're so cheap. But I think it will be low owned. So this is a lineup that will get to first place if it does well, I think.
Yeah. If Gabriel gives you 15, Tillman gives you 8, and the Browns defense gives you 12, you're looking really good, I
Yeah.
That's crazy. I would if Gabriel got me 15, Tillman got me 8, and Browns defense got me 10 to 12, I'd immediately think I'm dead in the water. But you're not wrong. Because of the ceiling of everyone else on the
board. Because of the ceiling.
Yeah.
At that point, okay, yeah, those guys can do that. And then I could also get 100 from my 3 wide receivers.
Yep.
And that's the
and
thing
you have Dowdle ceiling potential.
And then you still have Dowdle. You still have Montgomery blowout ability. You still have whatever you get out of your tight end.
And that's the only thing that's been killing the elite quarterback or the elite wide receivers, whether it be Neighbors, whether it be Mike Evans or Puka himself, is it's just major injury. When those elite wide receivers play, they usually put up 25 points, and that's what we're paying for with Puka is like that guarantee. He's going to get 25 unless he gets hurt. So if that happens, I guess this lineup is dead regardless.
See, I was thinking we'd get 40, 45 from that Cleveland block. But, if you only get 35 from it, you're still probably not dead because of all the ceiling you have everywhere else. So you get 35 from that, you get 100 from the 3 wide receivers. You get another 20 plus from Rico. You get a nice 15, 20-point game from Montgomery. You're at 160 with the tight end.
And I just want to make one more quick point because I know Gov's got a hard out here. It was kind of like what I said with JJ and McCarthy last week and why I played it. Gabriel wasn't great, but at his price, we don't need him to be great. And he's getting more and more back on that offense. I think Tillman does make a difference to this offense. And we're getting Tillman at a price. Even Jerry Jeudy, if you wanted to believe in that, they should help each other. Jerry Jeudy is under 4K.
Yeah, they don't have a body to cover Tillman on the Jets. There's not one.
Well, that's it. They've been depleted with Sauce Gardner leaving should change the entire defense, and the offense for the Browns has never been this version of the Browns offense. So what happens if it's just good? Gabriel and Tillman, I don't believe at any point this season have played together. So what happens if that changes the offense? Because I do think
it will, but
it might. It might, and if it does, we win. So I actually like this lineup quite a lot.
I don't hate it as much as Gabriel. Gabriel getting 15 I think would be a season high, but 15 is not a lot for a quarterback, and that Jets team is really bad.
And again,
like I said, you just need to pick.
You see what I mean by it's garbage, it's bleh, but you can see it.
Yeah, you're right.
It truly is an Addison kind of feel for me. It's like with Addison and Jefferson making their life easier. I think part of the reason Jerry Jeudy was having difficulty was because he's not a true number one. But all of these extra weapons add something to this offense. I actually
you could pivot this so many different ways. You could turn Jefferson or St. Brown into Adams and then make it a Stafford.
Yeah.
You could turn Jefferson into Addison and then go up at your running back. You could turn St. Brown into J-Mo and go up at your running back. You could do a lot of different pivots.
Which is why we do
still
this
play
show.
The same sort of game environments.
Which is why we do this show, because I guarantee you, when we were waiting on you, Gov, you were a bit late today. If I was to tell Donnie, hey, while we're waiting for Gov, he's going to build a Gabriel lineup, and you're going to like it, Donnie would have laughed me out of the building. He would have, but that's.
I would laugh myself out of the building if you would have said, Gov, you're about to build us a Dylan Gabriel lineup.
But that's exactly why we do it. It's more for the thought process to get us on the place we're not normally playing. So I like it. But with that being said, we got to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining us. I got to get back to work soon. Gov's got to get to work. Hopefully you guys put in the work and maybe you fine-tune this lineup to something that you like so you can win this weekend. Good luck, guys. With that being said, take care.
Peace out, everyone.